All right. Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Yes, it is Tuesday. Wait, is it Tuesday? Yes, because Memorial Day was Monday. I was like, my goodness gracious, my days are all messed up and discombobulated. All right. In today's tutorial, I am going to be showing you. Hello, Devlin. All hail me. Well, today I'm going to be showing you how to make this simple 3-layer pumpkin fall card. That's what I'm going to be calling it. It's super easy, it's super simple, and I did it all on my Cricut, which my microphone isn't down properly. No, it's right over my mouth. How about now? How about now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now, sweetheart? No. Yeah, it's down. Okay, it was actually the volume. I had it low. So it wasn't the fact that my microphone wasn't over my mouth. All right, the music is a little loud. Turning it down. How about now? How's that? Is that better? Testing 1 2 1 2. I should really do these checks before I actually say hello. Better. All right, good. So let's restart this. Hi, everyone. Today we're going to be creating this not Halloween, this fall card using 3 pumpkins that you can do on Cricut Design Space. It's a very simple card, and it would be a nice refresher from all the boxes and bags and other 3D things that I have been doing or showing you guys for the past couple of weeks. So I'm going to go back to my roots and start making cards for the holiday season. This is super simple to do. However, these little dots, I'm not sure if you guys can see that properly. You see those little dots? That's something that the Cricut is not able to do. But the Cuttlebug can. That's what one of the things that I'm going to be showing you today. I have used the Cuttlebug before, and I have used this particular folder before. So this is one of the things that I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using some double-sided tape and of course my blue painter's tape to put everything down. I ran out of this nice white and orange one that I got from the Dollar Tree, which I need to pick up some more. So I'm going to be using this Halloween looking one, the black and orange, which is not going to be too bad. And there's going to be some changes. Instead of using the same color as the cardstock, I'm going to be using this pattern paper. It almost looks like wood grain up close, but on camera it's not really doing it justice. I'm going to be using this pumpkin color, some brown, black, a full white sheet, and of course the pumpkin for our card. We're also going to be using, of course, the essential scissors. Good morning, sunflower. How are you doing today? Hopefully your week is starting off pretty good. I'm going to put my Cuttlebug on the floor because it is humongous. And let's get over to our Cricut. Let's see now. Here we go. So, if you looked at my last tutorial, which is on YouTube right now, I'm going to show it from start to finish, how to make the pumpkins, and of course a jack-o'-lantern. And what we're going to be using primarily is going to be some circles. And all I'm going to do is just slightly elongate it. It doesn't matter how big or how small they are because you can always resize these. And that's what I really like about this working with SVGs. So for this one, let's do a little longer. Let's go a little longer. I'm going to duplicate this, and duplicate this. If you have any questions, Sunflower, feel free to let me know and I'll try to answer them as best as possible. And another thing is I'm going to try not to breathe heavily into my microphone because I've noticed in my recordings you can hear me breathing. Not that I'm trying to do that. Okay. I did that intentionally. Okay, I'm going to grab my two circles here and I'm going to align them vertically. Yes, vertically. I'm going to grab this oval and put it towards the center. That is going to be the basis of our pumpkins. Now, I want to make sure that every single one of these are centered properly because once I do, I'm going to weld them. And this is going to be, going to the front here, is going to be the basis of our card. So we have this pumpkin. Now I'm going to show you several pumpkins you can actually do. This is one of many. So I'm going to put this guy up here and I'm going to try for another one. Now you've seen that pumpkins aren't all, they don't all look like this. Some of them are actually quite oblong. Some are bumpy. Some are small, some are big. It all really depends on how you really want to make your pumpkins look. And it's basically the same process over and over again. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let me just twist this one a little further in. That looks great. And I'm going to weld this. Let me change these to nice little pumpkin colors. I'm bring this to the front. All right, so far so good. Now, if you have noticed, I haven't put any stems on this, and I'm going to do that to the last because there's several ways you can do stems. Oh, that's some good tea. All right. Then we have, let's see, nice little round plump ones. Okay. Let's make sure that all of these are centered properly. Get the center going right here. Weld. Let's make this a nice little white pumpkin. Oh, move this to the front. There we go. Now, depending on what kind of pumpkin let me just make this a little bigger. You wish you had a pumpkin? So do I. So do I. So you can always resize this to make it fit whatever project you want to make them, go into. My last one, I'm going to use this one right here because it has the biggest base. And I'm going to make a jack-o'-lantern. Alrighty, where are you? Okay. Let's see, and let's duplicate this a couple of times. I'm going to make a little heart nose for this one. Let's flip it. And let's grab ourselves a square. There we go. That looks pretty good. Let me make sure that this is in the center. Good. And slice. Okay. Now you could always make this however you want to look. This is just the way I'm making it. Oh, you don't have a Cricut sunflower. I can understand that. By chance, do you have a silhouette, or is it just a paper cutting that you do by hand? Either way, you can still do the same project, either by hand or by a different machine, like Brother Scan and Cut or silhouette. The same process is I don't like the nose. The same thing is used over and over again. That looks a little better. All right. Let's make some teeth. I mean, you could easily make this by hand. Sure, it's going to take a bit of time, but it's well worth it. Let's bring this all to the bottom and weld. Select and weld. All right, that is our face. And the only thing I need to do is make it fit my pumpkin. But before I do, I'm going to change this to yellow because I really want this to really pop. Oh, okay. Highlight everything and weld. I don't want this going anywhere. All right, that's good. Let's make sure that this is in the middle, in the center. Good, good. And I'm going to slice. By doing this, it gives you a nice little cutout that you can actually put right on top. And let's just make this center properly. There we go. And put that right on top. Alrighty. Just to make sure that this is going to fit, I'm just going to make it a little bigger. There you go. So that is how you can make a jack-o'-lantern. So we have a normal size pumpkin, we have a slightly oval, and then we have these little short round ones. So let's do the stems. Where am I going? There we go. So you could either do a diamond, you can do square, and you can do a pentagon, which is my personal favorite. And I wouldn't really do a heart because I guess you could if you wanted to, but I don't know how well that would look. Let's see how that would look. All right, let's change the color of these guys. Let's make them a nice brown. All right, for this one, I'm going to need the assistance of this square. I'm just going to cut it off and slice. Oh, not weld. No, 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 not weld. Slice. All right. This one gives you the more traditional looking stem that you can just put to the back. There you go. Let's make it nice like that. Then, of course, you have a diamond shape, which technically you can use a triangle, but it's a lot easier to glue it in the back if you have something that's protruding. So you have this nice little triangle shape, and of course you have a square or a rectangle depending on how you want this to look. Come on now, move that back. Not sure how the heart is gonna fare, but hey, let's give it a nice little whirl. Let's move it to the back. It's not so bad, although realistically, if I wanted, I can make this almost look three-dimensional. Yeah, so I would have to say no on the heart, but it does give me a bit of depth. Let's go and move it back. Oh, you are not gonna play nice, are you? All right. Let's move this back. There you go. So it gives you more of a depth with the heart. Not exactly what I intended, but I'm glad that I did it. There we go. Now, on today's project, what I'm going to be using is I'm going to be using this pumpkin right here. I'm going to delete all of these, and I'm going to move over to where our project is. This is our project. This is what I'm going to do. Now, I'm going to show you a nifty thing about this particular pumpkin. Even though it's done like this, once you take it off the lock, you can actually resize it, changing its shape. So it doesn't really harm it, but it does change the shape to whatever you want, which I think is pretty cool. Which I'm going to be doing for all three of these. So I have this one right here. Let's move this down. Move this over. Okay. This is going to be my second layer, which I'm going to move back. I'm going to highlight everything. And I'm just grabbing the last, and I'm just manipulating it to the size that I want. And of course, I'm going to be moving this to the back. Did you go back? No, you didn't. All right. This is going to be the tier to our pumpkin right here. Oh no! I was supposed to... This is the way I want it to look. So if you don't want it to be warped in any way, put it back to the lock, and now it's not going to do anything to it. All right, that's perfect. So let's grab it, move it over here, all the way over here. All right, let me move you down. And I'm going to, wait, is this all? Nope. So let's just move these out of the way. Okay, almost done. Nearly there. Then of course I have this one right here. This is going to be for the inside of the card. So I'm just going to keep that one the same. Now for the bases of our card, what we're going to do is just going to grab ourselves a square. Take it off the lock, and we're going to change the dimensions on this. So let me get my handy dandy book where I write all my notes. And the first one is going to be 8.5, which is 8.5 by 5. That's the basis of our card. Now I'm going to change the colors to reflect what it's going to be cutting out. I'm going to grab myself a score line, and it doesn't matter where I put it on here as long as I highlight everything and put it to the center. There, done. However, let me make it go all the way to the top so it scores it properly. Not that I have a very good score, but you know, just for those that actually do have a good scoring tool. Delicious. All right, select everything and attach. You don't want this moving around at all, because once you click, let me show you what will happen if you have this unattached. When you go to make it, it's going to have the line separate from where it's supposed to go. So if you don't want that to happen, click attached. So when you click make it, it's going to be on your card. Next, I'm going to need is another box. And this one's going to be white. Come on now. And this is going to be for the left-hand side. And we're going to take it off the lock. And this one is going to be 375. I used relatively easy numbers for myself. I didn't want to complicate this whatsoever with, you know, like 3.7562 or something like that. No, I just made it a nice rounded even numbers. Although I don't think 75. Yeah, 75 is an even number. Maybe. Well, it's divisible by 3, so yes, it's a... All right. Or is it 2? I think it's 3. Math is not my strong suit. Don't listen to me. Okay, next one is another box. Shocker. It's another box. There's 2 more coming, by the way. And this one's going to be our white layer that's going to be on the front. And it's going to be 3, 5. Yes, round equals even numbers. Thank you, Devlin. Always so helpful. 4.25. That's going to be the sides. All right, it's going to make this another white one. Let's duplicate this one and then just manipulate it so I don't have to go over here and grab the square. And then that last one is our black, which is 3.25 by 4. And this one's going to be black. All right. That's going to go right here. And I wish, there we go. Let's make sure this is centered properly. Perfect. And I know it's not centered properly here, but that's fine. All right, and as you can see, we already made up the pumpkins right here. So all I'm going to do is go to the front. This little pumpkin's going to be on the inside. And these pumpkins are going to be on the front first. And I'm just going to adjust them so they can fit in my card. Almost there. There we go. Now, since I'm using a different pattern paper, I'm going to have that reflected. Not the brown. No, that's not what I meant. All right, let's just do this by hand. There we go. All right, that's what it's going to reflect. That's what it's going to do, and I no longer need this. Thank you for your services. Time to get crafting. All right, everything's done. This is the basis of our card. This is the whole kit and caboodle. There's nothing more to it other than just cutting it. But if I did everything correctly, all right, we got white. You know what? I don't want that there. I want it right here. All right, there's my black, although you can barely see it. There are my little stems, which, let's see now. I'm going to move down about an inch. So I'm going to collect all of, oh, I can't do it one by one. All right, I mean, I can't do it all in a group, so I'm going to have to do them one by one. Okay, let's see. I'm going to optimize this as much as possible. Come here. Come here. All right, that's good. My brown is good. There's my card. And my pumpkins are all over the place. Okay, let's bring this down and optimize this as much as possible. I just don't want them touching because it'll cut and overlap. All right. So far, so good. Now, before you hit continue right here, you have to go back to the top. Otherwise, once you hit continue, it's going to be on the last layer. And if you're not paying attention, you might actually cut the wrong layer. Ask me how I know. Oh, is my machine on? Yes, it is. My machine is on. And do I need to score anything? No, I do not. Let's go to the mat. So you can see up here everything that's going on. So my first layer is asking it for it to be white. I will say this. I do like this feature. I wish the silhouette had this feature. Yes, Devlin. Thank you, Devlin. Have a good time at your meeting. I hope it's not long and drawn out and possibly something that could been put into an email. I have been in situations when I was working out in the real world where I was sitting there in a meeting for hours where it could have been easily summed up in an email and sent out. But those were like ancient history. All right. Let me see where I have this set up. Everything is set up on cardstock. Good. If you can't see, that didn't do it justice. On my machine, nope, that's still not doing it justice. there's little dials right here, and unfortunately it's backwards and you guys can't really see, but it says paper, vinyl, iron-on, light cardstock, fabric, and poster board. I gotta tell you, I'm in love with the machine itself. I'm not in love with the software, but I am in love with the machine because it cuts beautifully, a little bit better than the Silhouette. So there's a bit of pros and cons when it comes to the Cricut. Cricut, excellent at their machine, except for maybe the Maker, because I'm hearing a lot of bad reviews on the Maker. And I was highly considering getting myself an upgrade on the Maker. But I think what I have now, this Explorer 1, is doing a phenomenal job. All right. Are you done cutting, my little lovely? See how nice it cuts? Sure, the mat isn't as sticky as I want it to be, but it cuts beautifully. Now, I'm in love with the Silhouette software. The software is phenomenal. Oh my goodness, I can create lines and curves, something that the Cricut doesn't give me the ability to. It's very straight line, or hey, you need to use our basic shapes in order to make what you need to make, which I have been making a lot of my tutorials using nothing more than basic shapes because I didn't want to pay like 99 cents or $1.75 for the items that Cricut provides. I have made a slew of projects using nothing more than basic shapes on the Cricut because that's what the software only allows. I should really do a comparison or differences between Cricut and Silhouette. And let's see what's next. It's asking me for a black. For instance, the Silhouette machine, it's not the best at cutting. I mean, I have to go over several times on like one design because the blade is not, either the system itself is not capable of cutting it properly. So I do have to sit there and babysit it so I can make sure it cuts properly. But the software, oh my goodness, the software, that alone is enough. All right, do I need any score lines on this? No. I have to be very careful not to ramble because if I'm not paying attention, I will cut through my score lines. I have done it a million times and I'm probably going to do it a million more. So Lord willing, I don't do it this time. My goodness, that's good. All right. And I'll be honest, I would rather pay for the software. I mean, you don't have to pay for the software unless you wanted to do like business stuff. If you just wanted to do some basic stuff, it's free. Just like the Cricut software is free. But if you wanted to do your own SVGs, your PNGs, JPEGs, your own curves and whatnot, I would highly recommend, because you can actually take that and move it over to the Cricut and have your Cricut machine cut it out. All right, here we go. The moment of truth. This one actually needs scoring, and Lord willing, I don't mess this up. I am paying attention. I am going to switch out my blade, and I'm going to put my scoring tool in. Now, this is one of the downfalls of just having an expression 1. For the expression, you only have one little port. For something that has 2 ports, that's what I really wanted, was a 2-port. So when I had my scoring, I don't have to keep switching it out and making a mess of my projects. All right, let me make sure that this is down. And if I had the 2-port one, this is like the first and only time that I would have to adjust it, and then it would do its thing from that point on. All right, it's sizing it. Wait. Wait. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no. My bad. That was my bad. That was my bad. It's not. It is not. I had on the wrong color. This is supposed to be. Was supposed to be brown. That was my fault. And here I am thinking I was paying attention. Nope. Not paying attention whatsoever. All right. I have to do something wrong on one project or another. Alrighty. Now it's actually cutting the card. I have to go back and use my brown. That was my mistake. And you're probably going to see a little bit of scoring right here for the pieces, but that's fine. It's not going to really be noticeable, especially if I put it folded inward. So that's not too big of a deal. So you can see slightly an indent. It's better an indent than a cut, right? All right. So let's just get this over with. I know it's scored, but you know what? I am a freak about this, and I want to make sure it is centered properly. There we go. Just using my bone folder. Put that right there. Good, good, good. Got my stuff and things going. And the next, but not least, is going to be the pumpkins. Now, if you miss the order, it's okay. You can always go back, click on the layer, and it'll recut it. It's just that simple. And that's one of the few things about the Cricut. One of the pro things about the Cricut is it's very user friendly. However, it's so basic that there's really no room for out of the box thinking. Meaning that if you wanted to do some curves on your project, like point to point lines, you can't really do that on the Cricut because everything is just so static. Is that the right word for it? Static. All right, probably not. It's a good thing I'm not an English teacher or a math teacher. You guys would be stuck, you'd be lost forever. All right, I'm doing the pumpkins right now. So we got everything we need. We got this is our inside. We have our top. We have our layer, but we're not going to put these down yet because we still need to manipulate this black. In addition, we're going to put a little bit of ink on these pumpkins just to make them pop just a little bit. All right, I'm going to put this little score line here and have a nice big sip of my tea. Oh, that's good squishy. All right. So we got 1 pumpkin, 2 pumpkins, 3 pumpkins, the inner guts of the pumpkin. All right. This cuts absolutely beautiful. I love it. All right, Mr. Man, since there's a lot of little pieces, I'm going to put it right there. Now, I need to go back and do the stems. Unfortunately, that was my mistake. Nobody else's mistake but my own, since I'm the only one here. All right. Alrighty. Perfect. Perfecto. All right. And this one, I just had to move it down slightly. Okay. Just make sure this is, I know it's not sticky, but I'm going to try to make it work. All right. All good in the neighborhood here. All good in the neighborhood. Okay. All right. Let me go back. See, I just clicked onto it. I'm going to see if you guys can see that. So it was originally here. All I did was click back onto the actual layer that I want to cut, which is right there. Let's go back to our location and hit our button. And there you go. It's cutting. It's doing its thing. Okay, let me move this over. And what I'm going to be using this color block, or should I say this painting pad, and then color block. And I have a little brush here. Let me move this to the side. There we go. So we got this little guy, this little guy. Come on now. And this little guy. Woohoo! Perfect. Alright, let's start off with the bigger piece, which is this one right here. And what I'm going to do with this one first is I'm going to put it into my Cuttlebug. And this is called Swiss Dots. I'm not sure if you can get Swiss Dots. However, I have seen similar folders, plastic folders like this, at Hobby Lobby that you can get fairly reasonable. So all I'm going to do is just going to have it go into its plates. Move this to the side. Bring my ginormous one over, which is fine. Okay, and all I'm going to do is just put them in here. Put them as straight as possible. I'm just going to crank it old school style. I know they have like automatic ones now, but your girl does things automatically because it's cheaper. All right. We're good with you. Let me put down the plates. Perfect. And here are our dots. Oh, yeah, this is something that the Cricut cannot duplicate. All right. I'm going to grab myself this black right here. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this paint pad by Spring Shower Stamp Pad. I don't know who makes this. Have no clue. I'm not sure if they're in business anymore, but this is a relatively older pad, and I got this from my aunt-in-law. And all I'm going to do is just tap it. That's it. Now, the more you tap, the more brighter it becomes. So if you want, you can slightly, you just want a little slight discoloration, just to make those little bumps rise up a little, just like that. And I like the three-tone because you get a little blue, you get a little darker pink, and then you get a little light green, which is actually not that bad. All right, so I'm just going to set this aside and let it dry. Next, let's work on these pumpkins, assembling all of these guys. But before we do, let's just give them a little coloration. I'm using the brown from this color block, and I'm just going to go around giving a little something. I know it's very subtle, but I kind of like it to be subtle. Good. Not too shabby. You know, as I'm doing these fall cards, because I'm going to be sending them out to family and friends, I realized that this year we may not be doing Christmas. We may not be doing Halloween. Just for the sheer fact that, last year it was freezing. And it contributed to a lot of sickness. If I remember correctly, my kids were like super sick after Halloween because it was so stinking cold. It got almost to what? To this, I don't know, like 30s, maybe the 20s. And I remember years prior, we've been here for 3 years. In the following 2 years prior, it wasn't as cold as it was last year. It was freezing. My little girl was like, "I'm done. I don't want any more candy." And she didn't even have a full bag. Honestly, she didn't really have a full bag. And my son was like, "No, no, no. I could do a couple more houses." And then by like the second house, "Nope, nope. I'm good. It is cold. I want to go home." I was surprised that there were even kids, braving the freezing cold with their parents. And we were one of those foolish parents that were like, "Yeah, we can go to another house. Sure. It's not that big a deal." It was cold. So cold. All right. Now, I do have a bit of pop dots. You don't have to do pop dots, but I do have a bit of pop dots here that I'm going to use. Alrighty. I'm just going to put this over here. Do I have any more? Yes, I do. Not a lot. I need to go by the Dollar Tree and get some more of these little pop dots. They work incredibly well. Oh, I gotta say, Dollar Tree has really upped their game in their crafting department. I was really surprised at some of the aisles. Oh, this is not for it. Are you for it? Yeah, there you go. And there we go. Now, I'm not sure which one goes with this. This one goes here. Is this it? Yeah. Let me just ink this just a little bit. Not that it's very noticeable. And I have this Aleene's tacky glue. All I did is I repurposed an old glue bottle that I had ran out, and I just filled it up with Aleene's glue. And I'm not sure if I'm saying that correct. Is it Aleene's? Eileen's? I don't know. All right, there's my first pumpkin. All right, Mr. Man, you need to go away. And you are right here. Let's just put the stem in first so I don't have to struggle with it. Wait, I still need you. Okay. There we go. Perfect. Let me switch this over. And do I have any more? Yes, I do. I'm running out of pop dots here. Well, the good thing is I will be going to the Dollar Tree soon. Hopefully today or tomorrow. But soon. Alright. Doesn't really matter what the pop dots look like in the back. Nobody's going to see that. Alright. And there we go. Perfect. Alrighty. We got two more. Does this go here? No, this one goes here. And this one goes here, or is it this one? I kind of like this one, and I'll do this one for the inside. All right. A little glue here. Like go. And a little glue here. All right. And of course, Just going to ink this. So tiny. All right. This goes right here. And you go right here, my friend. So this goes to the inside of the card. And since this is going to be for the inside, I am not putting any pop dots in it because I want this to close properly. Let's see. All right. Last but not least. Alrighty. That looks pretty good. Not bad for a fall card. Alright. I want this pattern paper to match, so I'm just gonna move it like that. There we go. So far, so good. Alright, I'm just gonna glue this one down. Like I said, I really don't want this to have any kind of pop dots since it's going to be the inside of our card. There we go. And since it's for the inside, I'm going to move this to the side just like right here. Now we can start assembling. Alrighty. I don't need this anymore. I will need, however, some double-sided tape. Now, I could use glue, but unfortunately, I've noticed that it warps my card just a little bit. I mean, if you are a glue master, I would suggest you use it. But for me, I'm not that much of a... I'm more of a noob when it comes to glue. Even though it gives it longevity, and it's not going to go anywhere because, you know, double-sided tape never dries. So it has a tendency to peel up over time. However, that being said, cards aren't meant to last forever. I can see this if it was going to be like a 3D project that you are going to use over and over again throughout the year. I mean, throughout the years. Like you put it in storage and it's going to hold its shape. Alrighty, that looks pretty good. Yeah, does that look good? Yeah, it does. Now, I am not sticking this one down yet because I have to wrap around this twine right here. What I will do, however, is I'm going to layer my pumpkins on here just like that, and I will be putting glue on this. Where is my glue? There you are. I don't want this going nowhere for the reasons I mentioned, and I don't mind this warping a little because it's not going to be as noticeable as it would be if I stuck it directly onto the card. Alright, wait. Am I lined up properly? Yes, I say skeptically with a high voice. Alright. I should have worked backwards because then the stems would have been underneath. So there's a pro tip for you. Start from the smallest to the biggest, especially if you are trying to put this underneath. But then again, you can just lift it up a little. So no harm, no foul. Although I do have to hold it down for just a few seconds. Okay. Okay, last but not least, look at that. Look at that, look at that. Gotta lift this guy up just a little bit. Oh, that looks cute. That's so cute. Okay, I'm just holding it down for just a smidge. Okay, and I'm just going to unravel this. All right, I'm going to flip this guy over, and this is where our handy dandy painter tape comes in. Now all I'm going to do is just going to tape this to the back, and I'm going to go crisscrossing this. I'm going to move this up just a tad, just a little bit. Like that. That looks good. I'm going to grab some more tape. And then I'm just going to have it go all three of them. Where's my scissors? There we are. Okay, we got the basics for this done. Now we can actually attach it to this. Don't worry, I'm still going to work on the bow, but this is how it's going to start. Now let's get some more glue. I want to make sure that these don't go anywhere in the future. This will take a few moments for it to dry. Let me put this on my grid line right there. And I'm just eyeballing it from the bottom. Okay. I'm just holding that down just a little bit. I don't want this going anywhere. You know what? I'm just going to use one of these blocks. And I'm going to work on the inside. Where's my white? Oh no! Oh no! Oh no, 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 no. I'm such a goob. This was supposed to go on the inside. Oh no. Well, no harm, no foul. It came up easily. I am a goob. I am a goob. I am a goob. I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Watch the whole tutorial before you actually follow my instructions, because I will mess up on occasions. Alright, I'm going to put you down. But before I do, I need to flip you over. You have plenty of, see how it kind of warped it a little, but then again I did lift it up. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, there's some bubbles here, and I didn't really want to, oh man. Well, that's what I get. Alright, I'm going to just set that down for just a little bit. Well, and while that's going on, I'm going to do the bow. So all I did for the bow is I just used 2 fingers and wrapped it around. That's all I did. Just a couple of times. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this and go underneath. I'm going to cut it right there. And I go push this underneath and tighten it. Push it underneath. Come on now. Just a little more. There you go. Now I can fit through my fingers here. One more. Come on now. Come on now. Alright. Now, I'm going to fit it through one of these holes. And I'm going to tie it with the excess string that's sticking out. And then tight. I'm going to move it over just a little bit. There you go. And all I gotta do is just fan these just a little bit. Now there's a number of ways you can stick this on. You could use glue, you could do pop dots. You can also do hot glue if you wish, which that would have been a smart move on my part. Okay, that seems to be down. Perfect. As for me, I'm going to use some glue, and it will take time. It will take time. I'm just going to make sure that this is really well glued. But if it pops off, then I'm most likely going to be using hot glue on this one. And I'm just going to hold my finger there for a few. I'm going to fan these out just a little bit. I think the black and orange work a little bit better than the white, although the white makes it more country and the black and orange make it look more Halloween. Whichever you want to use is perfectly fine, as long as it's complementary colors to what your card is. Yeah, this is going to definitely have to be hot glue. All right, that's it. Oh wait, I forgot. I'm going to have to take this guy off. I need to put my little pumpkin right here. And that's going to be easy peasy. All right. Ooh. That's strange. I don't hear my music. It's going. Oh, there it goes. That's strange. All right. There we go. Now it can safely, you know what, I'm just to make sure that this is going to stick on for the remainder of my project, just going to do a little pop dot, and it flew off. Never mind, let me do that again. There we go. All right. Yeah, I don't think this is going to be much help either. Definitely hot glue. Yep. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Hot glue is definitely the way to go. Or E6000, which I don't have right now. Well, those are your options. Thank you so much for stopping on by. This is the result of the project. You can see that it has a slight difference, but not by much. Just by changing up your paper, it could really make a card look a lot different, even though it's the same thing. Now, I know that this pumpkin's a little bit bigger than this one, but I kind of like this one a lot more. It gives it a lot more depth. So this is my tester. This is my end result, and I really love the end result. Thank you so much for stopping on by, you guys. If you have any questions, please feel free to whisper me here on Twitch or on YouTube. This will be posted on Wednesdays and Saturdays. So if you don't want to miss out, feel free to hit that like and subscribe button. And if you're here on Twitch, hit that follow button so you never miss when I'm actually on Twitch. Thank you so much for stopping on by. You guys have a beautiful day. Bye.